students. Today we are discussing about the previous questions and we are discussing about the questions asked in 2021 Mass Communication and Journalism NET exam. Here I will discuss 5 questions in detail and after the class you may please be given the answers in the comment box. Next class will be started with the answers. Okay, so here the question is, what is communication gestalt? It is pronounced as gestalt. What is communication gestalt? Gestalt means a model. So the options are the qualities of an advertisement, impression made by all the advertisement and communication about a product, combinations of components in a program, time frame when all ads are telecast in a program. So this is a paragraph question and here gestalt means a model. Already I told you, ad serves one purpose, that is encouraging customers to buy the advertised product or service. Gestalt principle based in simply states that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It is simply a set of ideas about how to communicate with other individuals in a non-threatening manner so that people within the group feel like they can really share and learn. Whether in a print ad or television commercial, viewers must identify and respond to that whole, remember it and desire it. Here, the gestalt is include a pattern recognition so that people's thoughts provide missing details in a pattern or eliminate details not necessary for pattern completion. It allows viewers to connect information in a specific stimulus. Here the gestalt and the viewer we are checking advertisers using the basic gestalt process in the TV medium focus on how the viewer responds to the entire message, the sounds, colors and distinct images seen in the commercial. The response varies from viewer to viewer depending on age, emotional background, physical condition, level of education, and social class. How the individual responds is his gestalt. So here, how the individual responds is his gestalt. Depending on the product or service, advertisers target the message to specific viewer demographics who share common gestalt responses. So, hope you all understand what is gestalt. If you have any doubts, comment below and let's go to the second question. Here, the second question is identify the barriers to communication from the list given below. The options are time and distance, bypassed instructions, encoding of thoughts and ideas, decoding of thoughts and ideas, and logical sequence. Here, so we have to know what is a barrier. We already know a barrier is a noise between the communication. So we communicate with people throughout each and every day. We communicate through conversation, our expressions and body language, social media, email, telephone, etc. etc. We rely on our communication skills to further our friendships, plan vacations, repair marriages, order dinner, purchase a car, express our opinions, ask for help, negotiate deals, accept job offers, etc. Lot of communications are happening day-to-day lives. So here the common barriers to effective communication is dissatisfaction or disinterest with one's job, and inability to listen to others, lack of transparency and trust, and communication styles, conflicts in the workplace, cultural differences, and language also a problem. So here the types of barriers are classified as there is lot of barriers. So here some of the barriers are I will explain. The first barrier is physical barrier. That means in an open plan building, the moment you shut the door, there may be a sound will come. So that's a physical barrier. It creates distance between people or erect walls that divide your staff. You are creating physical barriers to effective communication. And there is perceptual barriers, emotional barriers, and cultural barriers, language barriers, gender barriers, etc. So here, cultural barriers are modern businesses conducted in a global community, whether it's the mix of staff in the workplace or working with colleagues, suppliers, and retailers in other parts of the world. By understanding cultural sensitivities of any business stakeholder and respecting their values and belief, cultural barriers can be removed from the process. And language barriers are it's not English can pose problems. It's not only the language issue. The way people speak is different from each generation. So there may be a chance of getting barrier between communication, and there is interpersonal barriers and removing communication barriers, and there is a lot of barriers. So we have to discuss the barriers of communication in a separate class. So I will explain it in another class. Here you can take the notes. Okay, let's go to the next question. The third question is, which among the following methods or models is used to make decisions related to ethical dilemmas in media? So here the options are Fogg index, flesh method, Freytag pyramid, and Potter box. Here first of all we have to know what is an ethical dilemma model. So first of all, ethics are the moral standards and principles by which entities, that is, entities means the individuals and organizations, govern their behaviors and decision making. With these standards and principles conflict with each other in a decision making situation, an ethical dilemma may occur. So here the types of models are Bowen's model for strategic decision making. Bowen's model for ethical decision making is specifically designed to help with issues management. And in other words, it helps professionals make correct decisions in a management process in order to avoid ethical problems and crises. And in this model, he suggests that ensuring that the professional is autonomous in the decision making process. Or in other words, it's important in this model that the public relations professional is free of outside influences that may change what choices they would make. And here the next model is Tayer's ethical persuasion and Porter's box for decision making. So here the we can see the option Porter's box. So you can understand the answer Porter's box. So what is a Porter's box decision making? This is perhaps one of the most simple but often employed models for making ethical decisions. So this question is a repeated question. Okay. This model was developed by social ethics professor Ralph Porter. From his name, the model is coming. and it is often used in a variety of professions. This process guides individuals through a four-step process involving the four steps are examining the issue and identifying the values and recognizing guiding principles and ascertaining loyalties that should be employed. This model is one of the resets on professionals understanding principles, values, and loyalties in order to be able to navigate the ethical choice correctly. So, let's go to the next question. Who wrote the book PR titled Crystallizing Public Opinion? So, students, there is lot of questions are coming like this, that authors and the books. So, you have to study the different authors and their books. Some of the important authors and books I will give to you. So here, the crystallizing public opinion is written by Edward Bernays. The option A is the correct, and this is a book published in 1923. It is perhaps the first book to define and explain the field of public relations. So here in public relations chapter, I will explain this in detail. So Bernays defined the Council on Public Relations as more than a press agent, someone who can create a useful symbolic linkage among the masses. He wrote the book with a lot of people. He gives examples from this his early career and cites ideas from theorists including Walter Lippmann and Wilfred Trotter. So you have to know about the important authors and peoples related to our chapter. And the next question. Tom Wolfe. Here also there is an author is coming. Tom Wolfe identified which of the following devices new journalists borrowed from literary fiction. So here the question is coming from new journalism. The options are first person point of view, avoiding behavioral aspects, telling the story using scenes, dialogues, third person account. So as you all know, new journalism is a style of news writing and journalism. It is developed in the 1960s and it uses literary techniques unconventional at the time. So the new journalism is included works by Tom Wolfe and others. Here he identified there is a four main devices new journalists borrowed from literary fiction. The first device is dialogue in full. That is conversational speech rather than quotations and statements. And the second main device is telling the story using scenes rather than historical narrative as much as possible. So the telling the story here, option C. So this is the correct and point of view, that is the first person point of view here, and a present every scene through the eyes of a particular character, recording everyday details such as behavior, profession, possessions, friends and family, which indicate the status life of the character. So the dialogue in full also here. So these three options are correct, and these four main devices are very important. Please note these devices. Despite these elements, new journalism is not fiction. It maintains elements of reporting, including strict adherence to factual accuracy and the writer being the primary source. To get inside the head of a character, the journalist asks the subject what they were thinking or how they felt. And today we are discussed 5 asked questions. You already know our paper 2 has 100 questions. So if you need more, please comment below. Otherwise, I will give you the PDF notes, detailed notes through my Telegram channel or through my app. And don't forget to download our application. So, if you okay, students, hope you all understand today class. If you have any doubts, please comment below. And if you have any suggestions, you can comment here. Thank you.